Okay everybody, today's video we're going to be looking at the Finnish M28 Civil Guard rifle. And basically the story with this rifle is that the Finnish Civil Guard, after seeing the Finnish M27 Army rifle, wanted to have their own rifle to use and just develop their own gun and be able to produce their own guns. Which they had already been doing with the M91/24, but they wanted an upgrade, and they liked a lot of the things about the M27, but they had some of their own features they wanted on it. And a lot of these guns will have a second sling swivel right here, and that's called a ski trooper stock, where you can have the rifle slung across your chest and be able to have it that way and still have it on while using skis. And this is one of the later style socks without that on it. But the upgrades they would make to this rifle are the rear sight, the front sight protector wings, and the bayonet, along with the handguard. And the rear sight and the front sight are pretty much going to be the most different things about this compared to the M27, at least the most noticeable. And this barrel on it, they ordered barrels from a total of 3 different manufacturers, but there's really only 2 you'll encounter. This one is a SIG barrel, which they ordered for the rifles, and the SIG marking will be underneath the stock when you take it out, right about here. But this one's a SIG barrel one. You can also see them made by Tikka, which are a little bit less common. They ordered 31,000 of these guns, a little bit over that, but they made 31,000 of them. The majority will be SIG barrels, I believe about 20,000 of them. The other 10,000 will be Tikka barrels, and then there were about 300 made by Seiko. And they started out Seiko with just putting the rifles together with barrels from Tikka, and then as soon as Seiko was ready to start making rifles, they ended up replacing the M28 with a different design, and uses the bayonet, which is very similar to the M27's bayonet. And the Civil Guard didn't have as many problems with stock breakage as the Army did with the M27, which is still quite a fragile front end, so I don't know how they managed to avoid that. But this is an earlier one where there's a plate put on the front that has 2 screws in it on the end of the rifle, you can see. And you also have your cleaning rod on there. And this one has the 308 diameter bore and has not been proof tested for regular 54R. So we're going to be shooting our hand loads of 53 out of it. And on the left side of the rifle will be your serial number, but on the right side you'll have a Civil Guard number. And what those mean is it basically was the number they put on it for the region that the rifle was sent to with the Civil Guard. And it'll be a number that can range from, I think, 2 or 3 digits all the way up to a 6 or 7 digit number. And this number actually puts this rifle being sent to Kokkola, Finland, I think is how you say that. And then the bayonet was sent to a small town that's actually in Russia now. But that's pretty interesting that you can see where the rifle was sent in Finland. And yeah, they added a really nice 2-stage trigger to this gun, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it, so let's get into shooting it a couple times. Alright, we're going to start out with 5 rounds down at 100 yards. And one thing I forgot to mention with the M27 is that these rifles got the nickname Spits because of the ears they have on the front sight, the front sight protector wings, because it looks very similar to a Finnish breed of dog that it just reminded the soldiers of the front protector wings on it. So these rifles would commonly be called the Spits in Finnish service. Another thing about them I forgot to mention is this one is an antique. It's on an antique receiver, and you can check that by disassembling it. It'll be marked on this tang on the underside of it. But that's something to check on your rifle, see if it's an antique or not. I didn't get around that time. Seems to be an issue with a lot of these. The magazine springs are just kind of weak on them. Well, that's all 5 of them. Alright, here's our group at 100. You can see it's a very nice, tight group. One on the plate and the other 4 just a little bit low. These are very nice shooting guns. Alright, we're going to load up another 5 rounds down at 100. We changed the position the sights were sitting at, so maybe a little bit more on the plate this time. And if you didn't see the M27 video, you may be curious about us hand loading for this one, and that's because you need a 308 diameter bullet to shoot these guns effectively, not be shooting oversized ammo through the rifling. And that's something you should check on any Finnish Mosin you have, especially if it does not have the D stamp on it that indicates it's proofed for Russian ammo. Your gun's probably not going to blow up if you shoot oversized bullets through it, but it is going to wear out your rifling and just, you know, kind of beat your gun to death over time. So that's something you should definitely check if you have one. Our rear sight moved a little bit, so maybe that may have shifted the group some. That's all 5 of them. Alright, here's our next group, and bumping the sight seemed to have worked. Got all of them on the plate, and it's pretty much on windage wise, so this gun's pretty much shooting dead on. Alright, we're going to load up the last 5 rounds, shoot at 100. Alright, that's all 5 of them. Alright, here's our next group, and 4 on the plate, 1 just off. Another great group out of this gun. It's a really nice shooting one. Okay, everybody, that's going to be it for the video. We had a lot of fun with the Finnish M28. And these Civil Guard rifles are just really cool examples of a Mosin, and it's very interesting since, you know, you can figure out what city it was sent to, and you know, in some cases I think people have even figured out the exact soldier that had their rifle, which just really interesting. And these were a fairly short-lived rifle. They were only made for, you know, 3 years until 1931, and the rifle that replaced them would commonly be referred to as the world champion. In the next video we'll probably be checking that out and showing that off. Yeah, these were a short-lived rifle, but they're very accurate, very cool guns. And if you have one of these and you want to shoot it, I'd definitely slug your bore, check what bore diameter you have. And if you know anybody that's got one of these and, you know, they just shoot standard ammo out of it, I'd probably tell them, you know, probably be a good thing to slug your bore and check out what you really have before you destroy your rifling on it. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, and if you want to see any more out of this one, let us know in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next one.